1992 graduate of Rutgers University. He's also a 1995 graduate of Syracuse Law School, where he was chosen to serve on their moot court, an all-star team of litigators who competed in the courtroom against the best student lawyers from other law schools. Adam specialized in real estate law and began working for firms in New York City upon his graduation from Syracuse. After arguing and winning most of his cases for several years, Adam made the bold decision to strike out on his own, and he established his own real estate law firm, Adam Leitman Bailey PC, in the extremely competitive and traditional atmosphere of New York City. Within 7 years, his 13-attorney real estate firm received an AV rating by Martindale-Hubbell, the country's preeminent lawyer rating service. An AV rating signifies that a firm that has achieved the highest levels of professional skill and integrity. In 2007, Mr. Bailey himself became one of 223 New York Metro lawyers to receive super lawyer honors. Law and Politics magazine identified him as one of the top 5% of the attorneys practicing in the entire New York metro area based upon an independent survey of 90,000 attorneys. Mr. Bailey was recognized as a lawyer who had achieved a high degree of peer recognition and professional achievement based upon verdicts and settlements, transactions, and representative clients. Mr. Bailey has prevailed in the courtroom in a number of significant real estate cases, including a landmark case that led to changes in the way deeds were recorded. He has written and drafted agreements that have been adopted as standard practice by the real estate industry. And he has recently had 4 new comprehensive lease forms published by Bloomberg Legal Forms. Mr. Bailey is a prolific writer who has published numerous real estate law articles in such prestigious publications as the New York Law Journal, the Wall Street Journal, and the New York Times. Mr. Bailey has the reputation of being a litigator with a conscience who provides a passionate voice for the needy against the wealthy and powerful. He has established the highest reputation for himself and his firm in compassionate legal work that benefits others. He currently represents a group of Harlem business owners who are in the process of being evicted to make way for a shopping mall. In a novel proposal to halt gentrification in Harlem, Mr. Bailey has proposed that 125th Street from river to river be declared the Harlem Historic District, which he believes would make it more difficult to tear down the neighborhood's historic buildings. Mr. Bailey has also been dedicated to community service and charitable activities. He established a Building Foundation's internship program to help improve high school students through educational opportunities, technology instruction, and leadership training. He's a member of the Board of Advisors for the Catherine Gibbs School, where he advises faculty, lectures students, and assists students in finding meaningful jobs. He has been an enthusiastic fundraiser for the Leukemia Society of America, and he has received their National Recognition Award. My most intimate connection with Adam originated on the New Milford track. Adam was a 4-year participant on the cross-country, indoor track and field, and outdoor track and field teams. He was a fierce competitor with a desire to excel and the determination to maximize his potential. During both his junior and his senior years, he earned first-team All-League, an honorable mention All-County honors in cross-country, and as a senior, he served as an extremely diligent captain for the cross-country team. And if you look at the wall in the athletic wing, you will see his name on the cross-country plaque as the recipient of the Coaches Award for both 1987 and 1988. The accomplishments of his senior year are even more impressive in light of the fact that Adam was involved in a serious car accident during June of his junior year. He sustained head injuries from this accident that left both his academic and his athletic career in doubt. When I first spoke with him at the beginning of his senior year, however, I was impressed with his positive attitude. The accident did not hurt me, he said, but it made me tougher. His perseverance and his tenacious desire to compete and to excel have been transferred from his successes on the track to his victories in the courtroom. Adam Bailey has been recognized by his peers as one of the most proficient and successful in his field of real estate law. Tonight, It is my sincere pleasure to welcome him home, to recognize him as one of our most distinguished graduates, and to thank him for his generosity to Milford High School. Mr. Bailey has not only established a scholarship to benefit a worthy New Milford graduate who will attend his alma mater, Rutgers University, but he has also most generously provided each of our graduates with a backpack as a graduation gift. I sincerely hope that his words this evening inspire the current graduates with the desire to achieve greatness with character, which is what Adam Bailey has so admirably demonstrated through his professional career and through the generosity of his community service. At this time, I am most pleased to present Adam Leitman Bailey with the 2008 Distinguished Alumni Award.
It's good to be back home. To the class of 2008, parents, faculty, and anyone else here that participated in getting your loved ones to this tremendous achievement, I thank you for coming. I'm going to start with a quote. The quality of a person's life is in direct proportion to his or her commitment to excellence, regardless of the chosen field of endeavor. The quote is from a man who taught at St. Cecilia High School in Englewood, New Jersey, a few miles away. Vince Lombardi later became the greatest professional coach in the history of professional sports. Of course, football. Mr. Lombardi was correct. Striving for greatness in anything is one of the most constant, continuing, satisfying, and fulfilling state of beings in anyone's lifetime. I have spent most of my adult life searching for the meaning of life. I'm a little crazy. I really went to bat on it. I read countless books, biographies about people that were quote-unquote great, searching for the meaning of life. I have interviewed and worked for and worked with some of the greats. And now I come to the conclusion that striving for greatness, or what Mr. Lombardi calls a commitment to excellence, makes this ride called life a little bit richer, or make that a lot richer. In 1991, there was a survey of the 10 most influential books, and Dr. Viktor Frankl made it. He wrote a book called Man's Search for Meaning. He studied that during the Holocaust, why did some people live longer than others? And his conclusion was that those with a dream, those with a passion, those with a craft, or a musical instrument, or a loved one that they may get to see after it all is done, they live longer than others in the same predicament and the same circumstances. When you are living your dream, or trying to claim your dream, your life is purpose. Life feels better when you have goals and dreams that you can envision and work towards. It is empowering, it is a high. You are not going through the motions of life. You are seizing it, you are conquering it, you are making life come alive. It gives you a reason to want to get out of bed in the morning. I'm not only talking about doctors, lawyers, and investment bankers. Nothing wrong with them. I am one of them. But too many people have failed in having a more satisfying life by going into a profession for the wrong reasons, whether it be because your parents told you to, or because you gave up your dreams because you didn't want people to think you were weird or crazy, or you went into it for the money because you thought it would make you rich. I've never met anyone that's really made it, because their goal was to go make a lot of money. It doesn't happen. I have nothing against money. Money is very good. But it's not enough. And I'm not trying to put down money. Not having to worry about money or being able to afford food on your table is extremely important. But for you, to Milford High School, you want more. You want more out of life. It is a great joy when I visit my brother, Red Bailey, also a graduate of Milford High School, at his restaurant a couple miles away on Route 17. He takes such pride and greatness in managing that restaurant. I've never seen a place buzz like that one. And I watched him in person with a dissatisfied customer, and I knew he wasn't going to let them be dissatisfied by the end of that meal. We hear and we watch the same passion from our teachers, mechanics, writers, engineers, architects, artists, you name it. Anyone with a craft and a dream, any love, any dream, any art, any profession. As long as it is your passion, it is a winner. I love that I'm able to live my dream. I thank God every day that I get to wake up in the morning, clap my hands together, and go and seize it. Seize that greatness, see that thing that we're striving for. And I love the way that my eyes have a purpose in them. Like I'm going out every day to make this world a little bit better place, or at least in my mind. Even my adversaries, I'm sure, would disagree. I'm talking about you versus you. How hard can you push yourself to success? Michael Jordan calls it the zone. Someone else called it self-actualization. Others call it the vision thing. Whatever you call it, I call it striving for greatness. It's a great pride that comes with that endeavor. I wish you the same satisfaction. I understand that this is the moment for you. This is one of those times in life where you're either going to seize it and become great or not. This is the time that you will spring into action. This is the time that you will realize your greatness. It may take some of you a little longer than others, but it's really up to you. And this is one of those things where all the doors are open, and it's time for you to either seize it or not seize it. But as long as you know today that this is one of your chances, you're getting a whole commencement means beginning. Even though this is the ending, it's also the beginning of your new life. So how do you do it? It's easy for me to talk and give this speech and talk about striving for greatness, but there's no meat yet, right? What's the secret, as a new book calls it, or the recipe, the rules, the how-to, whatever you want to call it? Well, here is my version of it. Number one, find out what you love to do. Make sure it is something you're really good at, or you can learn to be good at it. I'm not good at much, so it took a little while. Then, set goals and go after it. But that's easy to say, those are hyperboles, but really, really, really go after it. It takes hard work, it takes the endurance and relentless pain. You need to suffer unrelentless or relentless, depending on which version my wife and I debated last night. Incredible pain, we'll put it simply. And you can never, ever give up. Things are going to get really difficult if you're trying hard enough. You will think you are a failure and life will be really painful. But almost all successful people suffer greatly before achieving their goals. The key is to never stop believing in yourself. I mean, there will be times where you want to give up, or actually you want to end it all. You just got to remember that things do get better. Winston Churchill said success is going from failure to failure with enthusiasm. Pearl Jam had a song called Indifference. I was also debating, is that before your time, after, or are you still into it? But the line still carries on no matter how old, or if you were born when they were, or you were born, but if you knew who they were. But it says, I will keep taking their punches until their will grows tired. As a sophomore, Michael Jordan was cut from the basketball team at Laney High School in Wilmington, North Carolina. I want to read a quote from what Michael Jordan said. I was with his agent, David Falk, a few weeks ago, when we were discussing this story, and this is where I got the idea to Google it and get the exact quote. Whenever I was working out and got tired, this is Michael Jordan, and figured I ought to stop, I'd close my eyes and see that list in the locker room without my name on it. And that usually got me going again. He took the pain, he turned it around, and he made it, obviously, as you know, into victory. Abraham Lincoln, you would consider pretty much a loser up until the time he actually put this nation back together. He had lost or not been nominated for 7 elections. He had a nervous breakdown by the time he was your age. And he failed at almost everything he touched. He never stopped trying, never stopped going and going. But it's hard to relate for someone that's 6'6" and can dunk. It's hard to relate to someone that was living 150 years ago. So how about 21 years ago, last May, a few miles away in New Milford, New Jersey? Me. Almost to the day last month, 21 years ago, I had been a passenger in a major car accident. We were turning off of Washington Avenue on our way to a party. My friend was driving, no one was drinking, and we're heading down the hill, and we hit a wall. It was actually a banked brick wall. My head, if you look at the side of my head, you can see stitches, went through the window on the right-hand side. I was in a coma. I woke up, I had many broken bones, and I lived for my doctors to come to me and tell me that I was going to have to drop my classes by senior year. Some of them, especially the honors ones. and I was not going to college anymore, and that I had permanent brain damage, and things were not going to be the same as they were before that day in May of 1987. But I was from the Milford. As Coach said, I thought I was tough. I learned that I wasn't a couple years later. So one day at a time, I recovered. I believed in myself, and I learned that no brain damage would keep me out of college, that no college class would be too difficult to get an A in, and that no college would be too difficult to graduate with honors in the top 10% of my class, and that no law school would be too difficult to attend and to graduate with honors, and that no bar exam, and this was a real tough one, a timed exam, which is your entrance into becoming a lawyer. You don't pass, you don't become a lawyer. That did not get in my way, thank God. So no longer can any of you or anybody else in the world tell me that I wasn't going to become a top attorney. And no one was going to tell me that any case was too difficult to win. And no longer can anyone tell me that starting my own law firm was too risky and that I should just either become a teacher or go ahead working for other firms. So now it is your turn. What are your limits? No one can tell you that you cannot do the impossible. No one can tell you not to pursue your wildest, most fantastic dreams. No one can tell you that you cannot change the world to benefit mankind. You can be as great as you desire to be. I learned how to strive for greatness with much pain. You have one life. Life is so much more worthwhile when you spend much of it reaching, enduring, and working in an attempt to be great. To be the greatest, striving to be the greatest, and to have fun doing so. So each day, if you do not go to sleep until you have given 100%, you will be a winner and one of the greats. So to the class of 2008, I congratulate you. Go out there and celebrate, meaningful, have fun, and may all your dreams come true. Thank you very much.